Hey guys, Dylan from the Geek Duo here, and today I'll be bringing you my reaction to Daredevil Born Again, Season 2, Episode 2, titled, Episode 5, I don't know why I said 2, The Grand Design. The Anti-Vigilante Task Force intensifies its search for Daredevil and Bullseye. So, um, something I need to correct from the last episode. I said that it felt like it was a mid-season kind of thing, having Vanessa get hit in the head by the shot of that little commemorative Kingpin New York thing. But I said it's only episode 4. It's going to be the same as last time, so this is week 3 of 8. So that means that episode 5 would be the actual midpoint. Yeah, no, there's 8 episodes this season, 7 weeks. Um, so that was actually the mid-season event. Another thing that I didn't notice, um, when Kingpin is aiming the gun at Bullseye before Matt knocks it out of his hand with his club, you can actually see Vanessa in the background with the shard in her head. Like, you can, like, clear, well, not clear, it's blurry in the background, but you can definitely see the shard sticking out. So, if you were keen-eyed, you wouldn't have been surprised by the turn of the head. Now, there is the question of, was that Bullseye's actual intended target? Because you'd think he slipped a little when he got shot as he released it, and also he wouldn't have been able to take into account the angle at which Kingpin would throw the belt to smash it. But I can't help but feel like there's a little bit of chance that that was what Poindexter wanted. But yeah, we saw in season 1 of Daredevil what happens when Vanessa got poisoned and was likely, well, I don't know if she was likely to survive or if they thought she would survive, and how Kingpin just threw a guy down an elevator shaft. What's he gonna do now that he's got the entire force of New York behind him? I guess we'll just have to find out. But let's get this started in 3, 2, 1, go. Also, that was a task force member that he hit that was in the hoodie. They said they had undercover, like plainclothes people. So somehow Dex knew that person was an agent. That or he did just hit a random person. I don't know. I'm gonna say that it was he knew it was an agent though, based on everything else he'd done this season. Also, apparently, for some reason, this showed up on my was it a For You page or in another video I watch? I don't know, but someone was talking about how the actress who plays Karen taught John Bernthal about D&D. which is really funny considering Matthew Lillard hosts a sort of Hollywood D&D thing. Like he's producers in that. I don't know if she's a part of it or not, but it's just interesting if she isn't that multiple people in relation to this show also have connections through D&D. Oh, look, it's Tahiti. No, it's probably the island that she mentioned. You really want to get in the way of the people who was trying to save your wife's life? That I feel you could have given an answer to. Did he take the thing? There was a time not long ago where I was in a similar position where I had to have a blood pressure cuff on all the time. And can't be seen, but I've got scarring all around here from it going off every 20 minutes. It burnt me. I don't think they're gonna have any like lasting injuries from her hospital stay, but if they did, it wouldn't be unrealistic. Really interesting seeing these two. I did say we'd be seeing him this season. behave. I mean, understandable. And there he is. I also heard we were gonna be seeing him, or more. There were leaked images of him. Don't even know if they were leaked actually. So that was not the first time they'd worked for Fisk. A little interesting who they did and didn't decide to age down, because that Wesley looks a lot older than season one Wesley. Yet, um, Vanessa looked younger than season one Vanessa. They're not killing Dex off here. I will carry you if I have to. Hmm. Seemed to resonate with him a little. You say what's weird with it, and then you still say gross. Still, personal feelings shouldn't come into what. Love that in the Bible. Hmm. Well, that was odd. Fuck. He really has taken a shine to him, but he also he knows that he's the one behind the leak, even if it's not intentional. That was in the same building that the art gallery was in season one, I don't think. So either that piece followed her, or she's not putting that up there. No. Four or five moments. I think you're being tested, Daniel. If you run, he's gonna do something. He just admitted to being Like, special forces. You really think he doesn't know intimidation tactics? He knew he was dead if he went in, but he also knows he's dead if he stays out. What was he hoping to achieve? Even if you weren't there, it would have been more than enough for Fisk. But nurse, does he mean Claire? It's time he's had to have shelter in the church. And this is who Matt is, deep down. Is he going to give himself up? Feel bad for him because they're not going to believe that he didn't. No. This is a really pivotal episode, the backstory for Buck. Because if he goes through with this, then I don't think he left the guy in the last episode alive. Tell me who the leak is. He did. I knew it was unlikely that he didn't take the shot, but there was a chance because it wasn't shown. Taking him to Frank's. Oh, how would Frank feel about that? When exactly is she in their timeline? Because she's not in the present. She's acting strange. thought there was going to be some lasting, but wasn't expecting it this quickly. I was expecting her to get out of the hospital and take a turn. Let me tell you, that's a weird thing to wake up to. All those people around you. See, that was definitely a different gallery. Excuse me. And again. Well, that was a very strangely structured episode. We had whatever was happening with Vanessa, because hers didn't match up with what we knew. The parts of her in the gallery and that. The fact that she directly described Wilson to a T when explaining the piece of art, and then in a completely different gallery. Now, it is entirely possible that we're supposed to think it's the same gallery and that you just couldn't get the same space, and you're meant to just overlook the discrepancies. I feel like if that was going to be the case, then they might have reshot that scene that they put on at the end of it in a different room. Just say that different, because they do use a different camera tone. Well, not camera tone, scene tone. Like different lighting, different contrast, everything compared to what that show did. So they could have just said that we've reshot the scene, exactly same setup, gotten people who look similar from behind, and just, yeah, okay, this is the same room. But they didn't. They did try to match it with the story stuff, specifically the meeting with Buck and everything. I don't remember the scenes being like light blue tinted in relation to the Nelson Murdoch stuff. Um, because that was a big thing about the old show was the color tone of it could tell you what kind of scene was going to be. And they do similar in this show. I think it's what 60-30-10. I think I've been told that the color is like 60 of the primary color, 30 of the secondary, and 10 of the accent. That's probably not the right words, but it is different than what the other one was. And like this would possibly be a do I have a microphone on this scene? That scene was like 60% white, 30% of the blue black of the stair rail, and then don't know whether you'd count her hair as the other 10 or what, but that's the color styling of this show. Whereas the others was like heavily saturated, sepia in some place, not quite sepia, but in the yellow scale. So the scenes that they did set in the past in relation to this show are very different. The only one that was any way similar was all the stuff with Buck. I don't know why I'm so hung up on that, but yeah. So that's the only issue I really have. Like, I'm not a fan of disjointed timeline in an episode, like jumping forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. It just rubs me the wrong way. I know that's a personal gripe, but there was just something about the Vanessa stuff specifically that just felt off. Even when it met up with the Wilson and Wesley stuff that we knew connected with the Buck stuff, which connected with the Foggy and Matt stuff, all of that, it all connected. But there was just something that felt off about the Vanessa stuff. Maybe it is because we got so much of that disjointed, and then it was only connected at the end, and it was different from what we knew it to be. I was sort of thinking that it was gonna be like an Eternal Sunshine kind of thing. Like she was slowly forgetting the scene that was happening, like losing her memory of how and where she met Wilson, and then she woke up, sort of still having some of it, and that's why she asked him for the story to sort of remind herself, corroborate it with her own memory to just, yeah, that's what I thought was happening. It didn't turn out to be what did happen. I don't know what to think about the Buck and Daniel stuff, especially considering Buck revealed Christophe's body to Daniel as a show of loyalty. Like, what was it? Was it asking, would he rather be the one who uses the saw or the one who digs, or what? I don't know what he was asking with the loyalty test there. Because obviously, the loyalty test was you're going to be involved in this some way, but how it is up to you. Because if you choose not to be a part of it, then unfortunately, I'm going to have to take you out of the picture. So I'm giving you this test of loyalty because I like you. I don't think it was smart of BB to put out about Vanessa being in a stable condition because that cemented it. Like I said in the last episode, the one who plays Daniel said that he's playing him like Daniel knows that it's BB, but he's trying to convince himself that he's not. And we saw that look down at her pocket when Harvey put the little SD card in there. He looked down, looked back at her, and then played it off. And then she shows up at the hospital that Fisk and Vanessa are at, gets the information that Vanessa's in a critical condition, and then all of a sudden on the news, then she's in critical condition, and they're at the same hospital. There was a little bit of me that was hoping that Buck was turning, but with the confirmation of having killed Christophe, that's not the case. And as far as I know, of the channels that I watch, I was the only one who thought that. So, um, that Again, I don't know what to call the one who was at the church. Like, he said he's not a priest yet, so I don't know what to call him. But he's definitely in trouble with the task force. Like, sure, it's possible he could say he was in prayers, he didn't know they were there, they only recently came out when they knocked on the door. He could possibly argue that. They didn't seem to believe him when he said that in the first place, and then finding the room that Bullseye was in, um, didn't help the case. That conversation between Matt and Bullseye was very interesting. I wish I remembered half of what was said. And once again, in the same way that Bullseye is now apparently using Matt as his North Star, in the same way that he used to use Julie, was it? I think it was. And his like therapist tapes and that. Um Now he seems to be trying to use Matt, like he's going to the same church, he's trying to get um recompense for the crimes done against Matt. Like, even if there were crimes he himself committed. Like, the discussion between them, I really don't know how this is going to turn out, because this is a very interesting way to take Bullseye. Someone who, as far as I know from the comics, has never really been that anti hero type. Oh, I guess technically when he was Hawkeye on the Dark Avengers, that was Bullseye, yeah. Uh, Back when Norman Osborn was the Iron Patriot and he rebranded a bunch of Thunderbolts and villains into being the Dark Avengers. Dark Avengers, Hawkeye. Um, Members. Hmm. Yes, Hawkeye was Bullseye. Like, that's the only time I've really known him to be hero. And even that, the Dark Avengers were anti heroes at best. The only one that really I know to be a hero, or at least eventually became a hero, was Songbird. Was that was Songbird only Thunderbolts? I think she might be thinking of Moonstone, who was Miss Marvel, um, not Songbird. Yeah, I'm not seeing Songbird on the list. Must have been Moonstone. So ignore that. She wasn't even on the list. She was a Thunderbolt. I guess Sentry, yeah. Uh, Sky in a sense. Luke Cage, obviously. Nova, Marvel Boy, Ares. Victoria Hand is questionable. Hmm. There are some. But, yeah. So having him fill that role of basically filling Frank's role, because Frank isn't in the season, really. is the way I'm seeing it. Like, now that I've put it that way, did he get an altered role because John Bernthal couldn't be in this season because he was too busy doing the Punisher one shot that we'll see at the end of, like, after this finishes? It's possible. Be interesting if that was the case. But, yeah, I know. It's a very weird episode. And I can't really articulate why that is. Weirdly structured, some things didn't feel right, even though they were what we were being shown. And yeah, I'm interested to see what happens now that Bullseye has been taken to Frank's hideout where Karen is. Because that's not going to go down well. But we'll have to see where that is next week. And with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one.